Hello, I'm Teacher Karen. Welcome back to our English class. Our lesson for this week is about writing a feature article. Introduction. Writing skills is an important part of communication. Good writing skills allow you to communicate your message with clarity and ease other than to talk it out. Why do you need to write? Is it good to put your ideas into writing? The primary reason for writing is to communicate your ideas with others and to stimulate interest from the readers. You also write to reflect on your experiences and to learn from them. When you write, you are either writing for yourself or you are writing for others. This week's lesson will help you develop your skills in writing a feature article. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to write a feature article. What is a feature article? One useful writing material is a feature article. Features are more in-depth than traditional news stories and go beyond providing the most important facts. The purpose of these stories is to provide a detailed description of a place, person, idea, or organization. Features are not meant to deliver the news firsthand. They do contain elements of news, but their main function is to humanize, to add color, to educate, to entertain, and to illuminate. They often recap major news that was reported in a previous news cycle. Often feature articles are about giving information of human interest, teaching an audience how to do something, entertaining people from different walks of life, suggesting better ways to live. Stories in newspapers and magazines other than straight news stories, editorials, or advertising. A type of expository writing that requires students not only to write a clear informational piece but also to present material with a personal and convincing angle or twist. It is also an article that is a window into the human experience. A highly creative, effective, and engaging article. There are some tips for writing a feature article. 5 tips in writing feature articles. What are those? 1 is to know your reader. Decide whom you're targeting. Picture the reader in your mind. 2. Know your end goal. Know what you want to happen as a result of your article. 3. Explain why the reader should care. Don't make the article all about you, make it relevant to the reader too. 4. Share your information. This is the nuts and bolts of what you want to say. And 5. Anticipate questions. Be proactive, anticipate, and answer those questions. Some possible formats may include introduction. Start by describing a dramatic moment and then uncover the history that led up to that moment. Body. Use a story within a story format, which relies on a narrator to tell the story of someone else. And last is conclusion or good ending. Seven types of feature articles. Note that most feature articles have elements of more than one kind. 1. The human interest feature. This type typically reports on someone's success in spite of great odds. It may recall a tragic predicament. 2. The personality feature. The subject of the article may be famous or not so famous but has done something of interest to others. The personality feature is very much like a character sketch. 3. The best articles. The Courier Journal has a column that publishes reviews of the best products of all kinds. This type of article usually includes the writer's personal experiences with the product. It includes proof and examples that the product is the best of its kind. 4. The news feature. This type of article brings a human interest focus to breaking news. It adds personal involvement to what may otherwise be a distant, seemingly unimportant event. 5. The how-to feature. This article explains how to do something, usually a complex process that most people would not know how to do. The article explains the steps of the process in enough detail so that another person can do this process. 6. The past events feature. The article typically includes research but is not like an encyclopedia report. The article serves as a human interest history lesson. This type of writing usually puts a human face on history. In other words, it lets the reader know something about the people who were part of history. 7. The informational feature. This type of article shows insightful coverage of a topic. The article often refers to sources of research but is not like an encyclopedia report. Instead, the writer makes a personal connection to the subject and includes his or her voice. Here is a sample of a feature article. The Finest Festival in Lucena. The Pasayan Festival in Lucena is an annual festival that promotes tourism held in the city. It began on May 28, 1987 under the administration of the officer in charge, Euclides Absid, and former Bureau of Internal Revenue Office Chief Aguinaldo Absid. This is a week-long celebration in the streets of Lucena City, and it usually starts on the first day of the last week of the month. This is in time for the celebration of the feast of Saint Ferdinand, Lucena's patron saint. There are some sign shops or bazaars, performances of local bands on different areas of the main streets, food stalls, colorful Flores de Mayo, and the Grand Parade, which is held every 28th of May. Other activities are Chami Festival, Mr. and Miss Pasayan, Chami Eating Contest, Gandang Lola, Street Dancing Competition, Parade of huge and colorful floats of the participating companies and organizations with street dancings and marching bands. This symbolic festivity of the said city honors the culture and traditions of the Lucinahin. These are the questions. Number 1. What is the title of the feature article? Let's give the answers. 1. The finest festival in Lucena. 2. Does it have an introduction of the topic? Yes. 3. Do all the sentences talk about the topic? Yes. 4. While reading it, can you imagine the events taking place? The answer is yes. 5. How did the writer end his article? Your answer? The article ends with a description of the play's other activities. Number 6. What type of a feature article is it? Correct. The past events feature. Now let's proceed to learning activities. Engagement. Time frame 25 minutes. Learning task 1. Directions. Read the feature article, then answer the questions about it. Do this in your notebook. Niyog-Niyogan Festival, the best of Quezon Province. Quezon is one of the best places to visit every August, when basking on the beach is often a no-go activity due to monsoon rains, and the province studies the spotlight of food tourism and its top product, the coconut. At the Niyog-Niyogan Festival, the province's 39 municipalities and 2 cities fill the capital grounds with coconut-themed booths that turn the city center into a merry town of well-crafted coconut huts. The week-long festival is held from August 16 to 26. The 8-year-old festival was launched in 2011. It was originally a gathering of some coconut farmers selling their products, making a unique presentation of their respective booths that gets better every year. The aesthetically pleasing booths are a potent sales booster for local farmers and entrepreneurs. Locals and tourists need not travel for hours to each of Quezon's town to have a taste of all its famed delicacies. Booth hopping does the trick. Questions. What is the title of the feature article? Next, does it have an introduction of the topic? Do all the sentences talk about the topic? While reading it, can you imagine the events taking place? How did the writer end his article? And last, what type of a feature article is it? Okay, next. Learning Task 2. Directions. Below is an example of a feature article. Rearrange its parts and write them in a correct paragraph format. Do this in your notebook. This is the feature article entitled "It's More Fun in Lucena." Let's give the answer. What is the introduction? Correct. How about the body? Let's give the body. And the conclusion is okay. That's great. Next, Learning Task 3. Directions. Write a feature article about any of the given topics below. Organize your ideas following the format. Use the following rubric below as guide standard in writing a feature article. So first photo is an abandoned building which was the only mall in the city during the 90s. A forgotten place of happiness of yesteryears. Second photo is a poor baby who patiently awaits her human to come back. This is the rubric for writing a feature article. Engagement. Learning Task 4. Directions. Write a feature article or a story based on the conditions below. 1. Imagine that when you arrived a little late for school one day, there was no one there. The gate was open, bags were scattered everywhere, and the classroom doors were wide open. What do you think must have happened? 2. In 4 to 5 sentences, write your second paragraph stating realistically possible explanations for everyone's disappearance. 3. Stretch further your imagination and write your third paragraph citing unusual explanations for everyone's disappearance, and end your paragraph with how you feel about the event that took place. Use the given rubric as guide standard in writing a feature article. Let's proceed to assimilation. Now, recall what you have studied. So let's answer this. Blank are more in-depth than traditional news stories and go beyond providing the most important facts. The purpose of these stories is to provide a detailed description of a place, person, idea, issues, or organization. What is the answer? Correct. Features. A good feature article has a well, blank, blank, and blank. What are those? Yes. Introduction, body, and conclusion. Very good. Let's proceed to assessment. Time frame, 10 minutes. You are going to write a feature article story about a topic of your choice. Remember to use simple, clear, and vivid descriptions of the subject of your story. Give your feature story a title. Observe standards in writing paragraphs. Use the given rubric as guide standard in writing a feature article. The answer for this activity may vary. This is the rubric. Class, how are you? Did you learn something new today? Wow, that's great! That's the end of our lesson. If you are new to this channel, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to notify you in my next video lessons. Thank you for watching!